Dereck Lively is putting the league on notice after just an amazing game last night during the Rising Stars Challenge as he starts to build his case for Rookie of the Year, as well as going into details about his nasal fracture and what really happened. We're also going to look at the numbers since the trade deadline to just really give ourselves a better picture of what this Dallas Mavericks team can and will look like going forward. How's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, bringing you the latest news and everything Dallas Mavericks related. But before we get into today's video, 90.8% of you guys watching are not subscribed. If you're watching this video, you're enjoying the content that we're bringing out to you guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that we're doing here. But like I said in the intro, we got to talk about Dereck Lively because we have an update. As you all know, a few weeks ago, Dereck Lively missed about 7 games. I think they said it was a nasal fracture. And as the games went on, as the days went by, we were just hoping and praying that Dereck Lively would come back and just help this team. I mean, we went on a little bit of a winning streak before he came back, but we really wanted him to come back to just cement that and just have the team gel and play together more. But Dereck Lively did have this to say about his nasal fracture. Dereck Lively confirmed he broke his nose in 3 places. He goes on to say, "I got hit pretty hard. I felt my nose throbbing the whole time. You have to go put a little thing up your nose and go hoop. We went out there, got a couple stops, rebounds, and that one lob to finish the game." This was Dereck Lively after his most recent game against the San Antonio Spurs. And I get it. I mean, breaking your nose, he wasn't the only player who had a little bit of nasal fracture, a little bit of a broken nose. I don't know, Luka Doncic also had to wear a mask, which he didn't like wearing. He took it off for at least 2 of those games, two or 3 of those games. I think all of them, he took the mask off. He really wasn't feeling it. But if he broke his nose in 3 different ways, I'm pretty sure that thing they had to put up his nose like a stent or whatever it is that they had to put up his nose and then go out and hoop, I can only imagine that's pretty uncomfortable. But I'm glad to see him back, glad to see that he's doing well. And like I said in the intro, he just had a phenomenal game last night during the Rising Stars Challenge where his team did win the whole thing. Dereck Lively in the NBA Panini Rising Stars game, he finished the entire thing with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He shot 6 of 6 from the floor, and he was a plus 20, which I checked, and that was the highest on his team. Now, look at those numbers. It was, he played 2 games, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 6. Doesn't sound like he had like a monster game where he was dropping just triple doubles and just going crazy, but that plus 20. Dereck Lively knows how to affect the game. He knows how to impact winning. He knows how to do the little things to just come out with a dub, and that's what he did last night. And I saw on Twitter a lot of Mavericks fans were just angry that Jalen Rose wasn't giving Dereck Lively more minutes. Like, play him the whole game. Get him out there. Come on, he is that guy. He is a Rookie of the Year. And again, if you don't think he's Rookie of the Year, that's fine. I believe that he can build a good case. I know he was out with injuries, but when he's on the court, when he's playing with his team, he does all the little things that you need. And being a 19-year-old or now 20-year-old rookie, able to just impact the game as he does, just as a starter before his injury, as a starter, and just, it's incredible. What Dereck Lively does on a nightly basis is incredible. But he also had this to say last night. A reporter had asked Dereck Lively about Grant Williams' viral comment. Dereck Lively goes to say, "Just going out there, why would I want to shoot a 3 if I give the ball to Luka and Kai? Then they're going to knock down a step back 3 or a sidestep 3. Having players like that, you just have to play basketball. Not going out there, focusing on the name on the back of your jersey. Focus on the name on the front of your jersey." Now, this quote from Dereck Lively shows a lot of maturity. You know, he's not like a lot of these other young players in the league who don't really have that type of foresight or that wisdom to really just articulate. And I had to watch the video of this quote because reading it, I was a little bit confused as the context. I thought he was throwing shots. Maybe he was agreeing with them. But what Dereck Lively meant in that quote was playing for the name in front of you instead of the name behind you sometimes means having to take a step back. Sometimes it means being selfless and just allowing guys that are good at one thing, who are good at what they do, is to let them play and you help them out. Obviously, from that quote, he was talking about just not making it all about me. Hey, maybe give it to Kyrie, he's open. Maybe give it to Luka, get a good pass to an open man or get it to somebody who can really just take over in that moment, because when your moment comes, it will come to you. Dereck Lively, Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. He'll definitely make the all-rookie team for sure. And I might be delusional thinking he's Rookie of the Year. I'd like to see it. Dereck Lively, Rookie of the Year. Luka Doncic, MVP. Dallas Mavericks champions. What more could you ask for in a complete NBA season as a Mavericks fan? I think that's just the most beautiful scenario that we could have. But being realistic with ourselves, most likely Rookie of the Year will go either to Chet Holmgren with the Oklahoma City Thunder or Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. And I get it. two generational talents. But what we have in Dereck Lively fits this team so well. We have a young player who doesn't, demand the ball, who isn't selfish, who knows how to impact winning on a nightly basis, who isn't too worried about his stat sheet looking tremendous and crazy. He's not out there trying to force a 20-20 game. He's cool with a little 20-10, a few blocks here and there. Again, the plus minus tells you all. In the Rising Stars game last night, he finished as a plus 20, highest on his team. Winning plays, doing what needs to happen, and that's why he's a winner. That's why he got the dub, and that's why he'll continue to have just an amazing career with the Dallas Mavericks. But we got to look into something else, guys. The Mavericks won that trade. And I'm just going to flat out say it to you guys, I know a lot of Mavericks fans, y'all feel me on this. Any Hornets fans watching, you may want to just disagree with me all day, every day, and I get it. That's cool. But the Dallas Mavericks definitely won this trade. As we look at some stats from before the trade deadline and where this team was, and then the short, I understand it was a small sample size of only about 3 games since the trade deadline, which we won those 3 games. And yes, the Spurs, not really that much of a challenge. Yes, the Wizards, not really that much of a challenge, but it's still something. You got to play the team in front of you. And if we lost to those teams, that would have been a bigger deal than if we won those games, right? But let's look at some of these numbers. Mavericks are ranked number 1 in rebounding and number 1 in defensive rating after the trade. Prior, they were 22 and 25. The Dallas Mavericks were at the bottom for rebounding and defensive rating prior to the trade deadline. Come the trade deadline, we get PJ Washington, we get Daniel Gafford, boom. Number 1 in rebounding, number 1 in defensive rating. I couldn't find the graphic, but in the 3 games that we played with Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington after the trade deadline, the Mavericks were dropping 50 rebounds a game. For all 3 games, 50 rebounds each game. Come on. The proof is in the numbers, and the numbers are right there in front of you. The Dallas Mavericks definitely won that trade. We definitely upgraded. I understand. Grant Williams is playing well for the Charlotte Hornets. They've been winning their games. He's been playing phenomenal. But the reason why I want to say that we won this trade is because you have to look at the fact that Grant Williams, while on the Hornets is looking good, was not doing that in Dallas. And if you want to say that, well, maybe both teams won, I'll give you that too. If both teams have won all their games since the trade deadline, Grant Williams looking great, PJ Washington is a lockdown defender, Daniel Gafford is looking like a prime Tyson Chandler on the team. Don't quote me on that. But, I mean, that's fair to say that both teams definitely won that trade. But in my eyes, the Dallas Mavericks won that trade because the numbers don't lie. We are a much better team going forward since before the trade deadline. And just going forwards, we're just going to championship or bust. Is that what we're feeling? Because that's what it's starting to look like. Some more little supporting quotes here is that after the trade, Mavericks are number 1 in points in the paint. We were 29th before the trade. 29th! There's only 30 teams in the NBA. We were pretty much at the very bottom for points in the paint. We were relying on the mid-range shot. We were relying on Kyrie and Luka dropping threes. We were relying on Tim Hardaway attempting about 10 threes a game, hoping half of them drop. But now, with the addition of Daniel Gafford, mostly I'm going to give him the majority of the credit because I know PJ Washington, he's a great slasher. He can attack the rim. He can put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. I get that. But in the few games that we've had PJ Washington, his defense has shined. His defense has just outshined his offense entirely. But I know his offense will come. You got to give it some time. But with Daniel Gafford on this team and with Dereck Lively back in the rotation, the Dallas Mavericks are the number 1 team in points in the paint. Over a 3-game span, that is a huge difference. And again, we won the trade. The proof is right there. You want some more? Mavs with PJ Washington on the floor. We have an offensive rating of 116 and a defensive rating of 90 with a net rating of 26. The Mavs with PJ Washington off the floor, our offensive rating is a 121, our defensive rating is a 110, our net rating is a 10.8. Right there, PJ Washington Jr. on the floor. Instant impact. Our net rating, our offensive rating, and our defensive rating, it just improves significantly, and I get it. It's only a few games, about 3 games. It's a small sample size. You don't want to get too hype over nothing. I totally understand. But it's something to be happy about. It's something to look forward to after the All-Star break because I'm enjoying watching Dereck Lively last night playing the Rising Stars game. I watched the Celebrity game as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing Luka in the All-Star game. But I am more so looking for that game against the Phoenix Suns after the All-Star break. So, to me, that's a real challenge. Against the Phoenix Suns, that's a team that we may have to see in the playoffs. That'll be a real challenge for us as we just try to pull it together. The first 10 games after the All-Star break, I believe we'll probably go 7-3, 8-2 maybe. But that Phoenix Suns game will definitely be a test for us. And hopefully we study for that test because this team is looking great. We're we're fixing all of our problems. We're filling in all the holes. It's just all about bringing it together and playing that just winning basketball that I know that this Dallas Mavericks team can play. But that's all I got for you guys today. Y'all take care. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing we do. And check out the link in the description below. We have a Discord. Digest Media has a Discord. We have a little channel for the Mavericks Digest. If you want to drop in there, drop your hot takes. You know, if you want to reach out to me to talk about the Mavericks or just basketball in general, I'm always in there. I'm always active. You can reach out to me. It's a good time. We can just hang out and talk hoop. But until then, y'all take care. Peace.